Good afternoon. Okay. No, that's too much. That's too much. We've had some great panels today. We've had some great discussions today. The energy is amazing for like 5 p.m. It's wild that you're all still so awake. The coffee must be very good here. I have the absolute no. An Italian says no, so I have the absolute pleasure of introducing our last panel, and thank you so much for sticking with us, being here for the last panel, and not going outside. I think the weather is actually pretty nice. The rain has stopped, but let's stay here. For this last panel, it's called Funding the Future, Opportunities for Digital Heritage. So we've been looking at the past as cultural heritage institutions and professionals do, but now we're looking at the future. To set the context for this panel, I will once again invite Harry Verwayen to the stage. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you for the rowdy Italians on the third row. Good to have you. I'm just going to keep this very short, but I think I've got two reflections on this particular topic. I think on the one hand, we should look at this from a meta level, right? Talking about money in our sector is a difficult thing. Do you recognize that? Yeah. On the one hand, we think that the work that we're doing is just the most important thing in the world, right? I think we've heard plenty of presentations today recognizing that, right? Culture is one of the fundamental elements of our lives. We heard President of the Commission von der Leyen say in her political priorities recently, culture and history are the foundations of the European way of life. Then why is it so hard at the end of the day, to find the money to support that, right? I think that's one of the dichotomies that we face in this sector. I think one of the questions we could ask ourselves is: are we able to articulate properly the kind of things that we need? I've been reading up a little bit, and in psychology they sometimes call this the "you're lucky to work here" mentality that we sometimes hear. Do you recognize that? Yeah. So we're so passionate about the kind of things that we're doing, we're prepared to do it even if there is no money available for it, especially in certain countries. And that is something that I think we need to break through. It is really important that not only culture and cultural heritage is there and that we have the people and the skills to do it, but also really important that we advocate for our work properly. And that we make sure that, for example, in the next multi-annual framework, which is being negotiated as we speak, that culture and cultural heritage is properly funded. And for this, I think there are two things needed. One is we need to overcome our "you're lucky to work here" mentality. No, we should stand up and say we need also the funding for it. And two is we need to be able to better articulate what we need. Lots of discussion this morning and later on about AI, right? We know AI is a very, very costly affair, right? It's not something you can just do as an individual institution on the side. That's something that requires really deep collective investments. We know the investments are there, right? Europe is putting 200 billion euros towards becoming an AI continent. And that brings me to the next part of the problem space is, if there is money, do we know where to find it? Are we able to tap into the right money streams, right? I think here we have the advantage that cultural heritage meets innovation. I think this is one of the cards we need to be able to play better, because there is funding available. Michael Edson this morning said, we should be lucky here in Europe. Try to find some money in the United States. Public money. Deep public investments are really happening here. The problem, I think, is that it's being dispersed across a variety of programs, Digital Europe program, Horizon, Creative Europe, but also regional development funds, recovery and resilience facilities, all kinds of places that money is there, but we're not able to tap into it. So I think those are the two questions that this panel will need to start addressing under the leadership of Maciej Hofman. And I invite you, Maciej, to take over and please help us address these two very important questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Harry, for this introduction, because Let's see if my microphone is working. If it's not, I think I'm loud enough without it. But at some point it will start working, so let's hope for that. But yeah, very happy to be here with you. It's been quite a long day, and I know that it's difficult to have the last session of the day.
Can I see the body bag?
Right.
Don't take the money.
There's nothing to be taken. I made sure of that. Does it work now?
Give me a second, please.
Okay. But I think you still hear me a bit, or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Ask everybody to come to here.
That's maybe a good idea that you all come a bit closer, because we want to make this session as interactive as possible. So let's see about that as well. Because again, that was the idea, and this is why in the first place Europeana asked me about this session and trying to lead it. So yeah, my name is Maciej Hofman. I'm based in Poland, in Warsaw, just a few blocks from here. I'm a former civil servant from the European Commission, from DG Education and Culture, where I worked on culture policy. So in many ways, what Harry was already outlining is very close to my heart.
Sorry.
Okay, let's try once again. Does it work now? 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, I think it's better now. Perfect. Okay, so as I was saying, I've been working for the European Commission for 6 years, before that for Polish Culture Ministry, but actually since 4 years I'm a freelancer. You can see here my affiliation, so I'm a part-time advisor at European Cultural Foundation. I will maybe link a bit to this later. I also work with so-called Engaged Memory Consortium, which is essentially a group of Polish NGOs working on difficult Jewish heritage. And you actually did hear from some of them earlier at some of the sessions. So again, I'm also quite happy to be in this setting. But yeah, we are here for a very specific task, as Harry outlined. We want to give you a glimpse into some of the funding instruments of the European Union that are there. We are going to talk about Horizon Europe. Yeah, before we jump into those programs, I wanted to see a bit where your expertise lies. So I wanted to know how many of you have been reading in recent weeks the work program of Horizon Europe. Raise your hands. Okay, not bad. How many of you have applied to Creative Europe cooperation projects, also not that a long time ago? Yeah, also quite a few of you. So I think it's it's quite a good basis to start our discussion and to try again have something as constructive as possible. The idea here, and we'll be challenging our speakers quite a lot because we ask them to try and have these elevator pitches, so try to stick to 4 minutes for their presentations. So again, it's going to be quite a challenge. And I know that also from my commission times when we were asked to speak about funding programs in this very short time, it's very difficult. But let's try it. We'll ideally have also a moment to have questions and comments from your side. And we will slowly but steadily go into this networking, drinks, and dinner time that I think we are all longing for. And this is also a proof that culture and cultural heritage is around, and it's about human connections that we all long to have. So yeah, without further ado, and I hope they are with us online, I'm very happy to introduce the first 2 speakers joining us from Brussels, from Directorate General for Research and Innovation, so-called DGRTD of the European Commission. And these are the people that are behind this work program of Horizon Europe. They are also very much behind the so-called Cluster 2 that many of you might be familiar with, as well as European Collaborative Cloud for Cultural Heritage. So we're joined here by Rickard Bucksch, who works in the unit for democracy, equality, and culture. He brings in his experience from academia and private sector. Hi, Rickard, we can see you there on the screen. 2 master degrees, electronic engineering and business administration, which goes to show that there are very competent people working in the European Commission. So we are quite good hands. Yeah. Before we go to Rickard, this will be a tandem presentation. So we also have Maria Claudia Bodino, who's from the same unit, I believe, as Rickard, right? And she's also they are going to share this presentation, so actually they have 8 minutes together. When it comes to Maria, she also has a working experience from the data industry, private and public sector, as well as being part of the digital transformation team of the Italian Prime Minister, so also quite an interesting background that she brings to the table. And again, degrees and academic background from computer science and communication networks engineering, as well as social science and public sector innovation. So yeah, so Rickard, you will start, I understand, and we should have your slides in front of us. So you will have to let me know when I have to change the slides. But normally you're on, and there's the first slide that is visible. Please, Rickard, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot for inviting us here, even though we cannot be with you in Warsaw as we would have liked to, of course. Let me start by saying that unfortunately I couldn't see how many people raised their hand when you asked how many had read the Horizon Europe work program. So
Half of the
this
room, I would
is
say. Half of the room,
half of the
roughly.
room.
Yeah, so 20 people, 20 plus people.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Great. So we have a very competent audience. So maybe what I will tell you is not entirely new for you. This prolonged elevator speech here. So that my first point is when we're talking about Horizon Europe, we are talking about the biggest research and innovation program in the world. So it's a really big and important thing. We will focus now on a part of Horizon Europe. So if we can go on to the next slide. Just to put this in the context, Horizon Europe funds what you call blue sky research or curiosity-driven research or excellence-driven research, not driven by any specific disciplines. It also funds the innovative Europe, so in the European Innovation Council, the European Institute of Technology and Innovation. It also funds the Joint Research Center, fusion research, etc., etc. Many things. But now we'll be talking about what is called the Pillar 2, which is we can say a little bit not entirely correctly, policy-driven research, and specifically about the cluster culture, creativity, and inclusive society, which is where we are focusing our efforts, Maria Claudia and myself. So let's move on to the next slide. And now we are zooming in even a little bit more about because under cluster 2, the cluster for creativity, culture, and inclusive society, there are 3 destinations, and one of them is dedicated entirely to research on cultural heritage and cultural and creative industries. And in this part of the work program, we have been working on research and innovation funding, on one hand for green cultural heritage, supporting cultural heritage with the climate transition. We have been working on innovative cultural heritage and cultural and creative industries, driving innovation in a wide sense, and in the middle of this, digital cultural heritage and creative industries. And this is probably the most interesting part of the work program for you here today. The most interesting part of the digital will come in a minute from Maria Claudia. But let me mention that besides the Cultural Heritage Cloud, which is our flagship initiative here, there are also many other research call topics which can be maybe interesting for you. And I picked a little bit random, not entirely random, but I picked 3 here to highlight from the current work program, which is right now open for proposals. The deadline is in September, as you will see. As an example, we have one call topic for funding research on artificial intelligence for creativity-driven innovation. 3 projects we hope to fund for 15 million euros in total, so around 5 million euros per project. These are, as always, collaborative projects involving several institutions from several member states, going beyond the state-of-the-art cutting-edge research all the way into putting things into practice, so ambitious projects. No? Another topic that could be interesting is the evolution of culture in a virtualizing world, looking a little bit deeper into what the virtualization of our lives actually means, and this can, I think, be quite an interesting area to look into if you work on digital heritage. And I also put here as a possible topic of interest, design. Europe as a global powerhouse of design, even though this topic is more on the innovative priority, but there may be also some digital aspects under this topic. There are others also. We have 9 in total in this year, which are open for proposals right now. But these 3 plus the one above all that Maria Claudia will present is probably the most interesting. So let's move to the next. I think it's the last slide. Not to forget, if you want to participate in this call, the deadline is the deadline, no matter what happens. By the 16th of September, 17:00 Brussels time, you have to have submitted your proposal. If not, you will be out. And it's really advisable to submit proposals well in advance of this deadline. So if you want to participate here, get started today with working on your proposal. Thanks a lot, and over to Maria Claudia.
Thank you, Rickard. Hi, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Super, perfect. So, hi everybody. I'm very happy to present at this conference, even if it's a pity that we can be there together, to meet the community, and also to meet some previous colleague from our unit. So I don't know if you can start sharing the slide, but
It's there,
basically,
yes.
super. So basically, as Rickard just mentioned, in this very short presentation, we would like to share with you some very interesting opportunity about the European Collaborative Cloud for Cultural Heritage, the ECCCH, that, it's a very ambitious but also challenging initiative that is supported with a lot of money. It's not talking about money, it's about 110 millions of euro. And the main goal is to really create a digital infrastructure for research. So basically to help people to connect with researcher and to connect also with the cultural heritage professional across the European Union, and try really to move forward with new developments. So I don't see my slide, but I hope you can see my slide. Perfect. Now I can see them. In this slide, you see, I would say, these three-phase developments behind the cloud. There are 3 building blocks. The first one, that is from the work program 2023, was about creating the core infrastructure, basically the engine behind the cloud. Then we have the second one in the work program 2024. This was mainly focused on the development of basic tools to really make the cloud working, and also to ideate interaction between different domains area. And by the way, the winner of this call about the tools will be announced very soon. Then you have the last building block, is the more interesting one, because it's the current one that is open, and that Rickard was also mentioning, where you have a lot of, I would say, a lot of information in the current work program, and you can really apply for new use cases. So if you move to the next slide, I just try to summarize the state of the art about the first phase, the engine, the core of the cloud. This is about 25 plus 10 million, so again, a lot of money. And the implementation of this initiative is now, let's say, progressing and is basically managed by the ECOS consortium. At the same time, there is the ECON consortium that is building the infrastructure and also, developing a long-term sustainability with many, many other crucial developments. And together, in parallel, there are already 3 projects that are currently ongoing. It's Automata, Textiles, and Eritalize. Then, if we move to the second slide, the second one is about the creation of tools, what I just mentioned before. And this is about 48 millions. And now we are waiting for the winner. So the idea is to really start addressing different needs, different gaps, mainly around the topic of data. And also, it's very crucial to have tools that are going to be cross-domain and also cross different disciplines. So finally, that's the most interesting part for you, is the last slide. The current open call is about use cases. What does this mean? This means that we need to create very relevant and also cross-domain use cases to test from end to end the current infrastructure, and also to develop and to identify potential gap and to understand how to leverage the different functionalities of the cloud. The idea is that you need to really include the different stakeholders and a wide range of organization. We really invite you to read the work program. You will find all the links in our slide, in the last slide, and to apply. It's very important that we are organizing a webinar for the last day of June, where we are going to have ECOs presenting and also sharing updates about the current state of the art of the infrastructure. So the different applicants could really ask real-time questions. They can submit questions in advance to ECOs to understand a little bit better the state of the art, the current development behind the cloud. So feel free to spread this initiative in your network. Also, feel free to check our website and to subscribe to our cloud community. Thanks again for your attention, and we are open to answer your question. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rickard and Maria Claudia, and also thank you for being quite disciplined. It was almost 8 minutes, so bravo for that, because I know these are very complex processes you're talking about. I just wonder if you will have time to stay with us until the end of the session, because we are going to have other speakers as well. So
I need to leave, unfortunately, at 6 sharp for another work-related event, but I can say till 6 from my side.
Okay. Maybe
from my side, I can stay a little longer.
Oh, perfect. Maybe just a very short question. I mean, short, but a little bit complex question to you, because as we were saying, probably half of the room knew very well actually what you were talking about, and I'm sure many of these keywords and projects and abbreviations rang a bell. But I have another question. This is something I remember also from my commission times and from the culture policy unit in DGAC. How do you, in some way, start to demystify the Horizon Europe? And I remember seeing and hearing a lot of people saying, okay, Horizon Europe, this is not for culture, this is not that much for cultural heritage. How do you convince those people, or where do you tell them to start the process of looking at Horizon Europe as a viable funding opportunity?
Should I say a few words? Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, please.
So let me let's say moderate a little bit the question, because Horizon Europe funds research and innovation, and we are working on research and innovation in the field of cultural heritage and culture and creative industries. So we cannot say that Horizon Europe does not fund cultural production. This is it's a logic of the European funding program as it is now. Each program has its own focus, its own logic. It can be possibly difficult and different in the next multi-annual framework program, but right now this is the case. So if cultural institution wants to get engaged, you have to be aware that it is not about let's say funding culture. It's about funding research on cultural heritage and cultural and creative industries. This said, there are several facilities, and what I would recommend, I think there is a threshold you have to get over. You have to actually read the call topics. I know it's heavy, it's a lot, it's complex, but you have to do it. You have to find consortium partners, because you cannot apply alone. And there are facilities to do this. There are matchmaking platforms available precisely for entities that wants to get involved here. You have something which is called national contact points in each country. These can be very helpful, so you should contact the national contact point closest to you and ask them for help, guidance. These are real persons who are knowledgeable about this and have as a task to help applicants to Horizon Europe. So this is a really good resource. So start there. start looking at what you're interested in, which call topic could be interesting for you, contact your national contact point, use the brokerage platform facility, and start working on it. And sooner rather than later, you will probably find an opportunity. And let me add one thing more. To construct an application for Horizon Europe, it's a lot of work. That's true, and not all of them are successful. Obviously, there is often a high level of competition, but it's not lost work, because what you develop together with European partners, if it doesn't succeed the first time, you can succeed the second or the third time. You develop a network which is also very valuable for other purposes, so it's not a lost effort in my experience. So just be brave and dare to do it.
Thank you very much, Rickard. This is a very nice ending message, at least for this part. And please stay with us. And we are now going to move to other speakers, physical speakers. But again, please do stay as long as you can. And then we'll see if there are questions from the audience later on. And if you are still there, yeah, it's a pity you cannot be here with us, because, of course, the idea is that some of these discussions will probably continue over drink and dinner. But yeah, like... we hope to see you face-to-face maybe on some other occasions in the future. So again, warm round of applause to both of you, Rickard and Maria Claudia. And I'm very happy now to invite on stage Aleksandra and Johan. So if you could kindly just come here and sit with us. So we'll start with Aleksandra. Aleksandra Jankowiak, that actually represents the Creative Europe desk of Poland. It's an information point for the Creative Europe program, precisely. So what Rickard was talking about Horizon Europe, this is its equivalent, so to say. I'll give you the clicker as well, because Aleksandra, I know you have some slides. But just before you start, very quickly, again, so Aleksandra represents, as I said, the Creative Europe desk, but she's actually also a cultural professional practitioner, educator, and someone who is a graduate of cultural studies and social arts. She's an enthusiast of bottom-up and women's labor history, and I think she will link to some of that in her presentation as well. So please, Aleksandra, the floor is yours.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here, and I will use my notes, because I believe I will be much quicker this way, and we have a very small amount of time, and the dinner is soon. So, yeah. Let me start with a quick overview of Creative Europe. It's the EU funding program supporting the cultural and audiovisual sectors. The cultural strand which I represent is open to public and private and also non-governmental organizations actively working in the fields of culture, art, creativity. The program increases the mobility of artists and works. It also fosters transnational cooperation, helps with innovation and access to culture. And importantly for today's discussion, of course, it also supports the transformation, the digital transformation of the cultural sector. And there are several schemes in the program. I'm talking only about the cultural strand right now, because we also have the media. But when it comes about heritage, yeah, I will speak about the cultural strand, and in which we have a few schemes. But today I will tell you more about cooperation projects. And in which applications can be made, of course, through open calls. And okay, so this one scheme is designed to foster cross-border cooperation. And it covers priorities. Some of them were actually mentioned and they are quite similar to Horizon Europe. So I'm happy that they are already covered. But yeah, I will quickly go through 4 priorities in this cooperation project scheme, which are, as I mentioned before, of course, digital transformation, but we also have green transition. There is social inclusion and gender equality, and of course the international cooperation, which is it's the real heart of cooperation projects, and the real partnerships are very important in this program. And all of the key overarching priorities I mentioned before are a must as well. So when it comes to cooperation projects, we have just closed the call. So you will have a lot of time to prepare for next one, which will be probably at the end of the year. But yeah, we just closed it, and we had over 1,600 projects submitted. And the most popular area was national heritage, with 247 projects. So the subject is very important and very present. Oh, the time is now?
You have a little bit more, don't worry.
Okay, it's very important, because I would also like to show you one example of a project that of a Polish beneficiary who had implemented cooperation project 2 times. It's the Arten Foundation. It is a Polish organization that has been a leader in a project that shows how we can support both innovation but also access to underrepresented histories. So what you can see here is a site, Forgotten Heritage EU, and this project focuses on the digitization and international visibility of European avant-garde art archives, mostly, particularly from the 60s and 70s, and it brings together institutions from Poland, Latvia, Slovenia, and Croatia. And the aim was to build an online cross-border repository, which you can see here. And it contains works that were previously outside the official canon. And the online platform right now includes over 4,500 digital versions of artworks, and it's still developing. It's not just about digitizing. The project also contained workshops, exhibitions. There was a book and conference. So, okay, this is just one example, of course. You can check the site. I highly recommend it. This is just one example of how digital access democratizes culture by making it, of course, more accessible to wider audiences, but also how it can question the canon and how it can give you a new perspective. This is just one example. I checked the EU funding portal, which some of you for sure know, the funding and tenders portal, and I searched for the word archives. And it gave me 960 results. So that's how many projects about archives were already implemented. So I believe this shows how important this field is. Especially now when remembering and reinterpreting think the history is very crucial right now in our modern world with many challenges. So,
thank you very much, Aleksandra. So a very quick question, because of course the time's running, but very quickly, how do you feel now being on the other side of the fence after being a cultural practitioner, looking yourself for funding for your grassroots projects, and now being on the side that has to advise people on funding and yeah?
I think that this perspective gives me a lot of knowledge, and I feel it also gives me a lot of empathy, because I know the other side, and I know the challenges NGO workers are facing, and I know how difficult it is to find the money. But also, right now, I believe I am very happy that I can be someone who can help, because I was on the other side. So it's a good feeling, and I feel it also brings a real connection between me and and applicants. So.
Okay, thank you very much again, Aleksandra. So yeah, because time is running and I see the, the main moderator looking at me. The next speaker, Johan Oomen, who I think was also there for the previous panel, and he's very known among the Europeana crowd. But very quickly, for those of you who might not know him, Johan is a research and heritage, works as head of research and heritage services for Institute of Sound and Vision in the Netherlands. He does wear many other hats as well, including being a researcher at the Verwayen University Amsterdam. He's involved in some of the projects that you can also hear about here at this conference, including Time Machine, Transmixer. He's also on the boards of Europeana Foundation, but also EU Screen Foundation, Public Spaces Foundation. So yeah, Johan, we're very happy to have you here. You have quite a few slides, so let's hope you can run through them for us, and please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, let's go. So I was asked to present today the cascade funding calls that ECHOS is offering to the sector. Maria Claudia did a really great job in already contextualizing what ECHOS is doing. So this work that I'm presenting sits in the broader context of the European Heritage Cloud, or the ECCCH. Maybe it's also good to know that the position of the data space for cultural heritage in the European Heritage Cloud is super interesting, because these the way that more material is being made available to even more user groups makes the combination super powerful. I kind of like this diagram to sort of explain the funding landscape, let's say, of the Heritage Cloud. And this also kind of nicely connects to what Maria Claudia was talking about. So the bit in blue and the funky blue color, this is basically the ECHOS project. So that's the core, and it really lays the foundation of the Cultural Heritage Cloud. So there's it's a 25 million euro investment, and of that 25 million euro, 2.5 million euros is set aside for what is called cascade granting. So that means that the ECHOS project is in a position where it can also fund projects that contribute to the wider goal of the Cultural Heritage Cloud. And the wider circle, these 3 projects were already were already mentioned. So these are the sort of the projects that also contribute to the Heritage Cloud. And over the next couple of years, the number of projects funded under Horizon Europe will grow and grow. But I will be talking about this particular bit, the cascade grants. So why this program? Well, obviously, it's about we can build the infrastructure, but it's important, it's essential that it really reaches its aims and its impact. So that means that we have to, let's say, make this platform known, educate people that would like to use it, and also make sure that it's aligned with what the users are looking for. So for this, the cascade grants is really ideal, because it is a lightweight way to really engage with the sector. So there are 3 calls, and call one, focus on data, was closed mid-May. We had a really good response, and we're now in the process of evaluating the proposals. It's estimated that the projects, so the 12 projects that will be funded, will start early next year. So there's two calls that are, I think, of interest to the audience here today. One is engagement and collaboration. The other, call 3, is a combined call that looks at data and virtual applications. I would like to just share 1 minute more about call 2. So this is the call that will be published in September. And this call is really targeted towards umbrella organizations. So if you look, for instance, at the website of the European Heritage Alliance, there are quite a few organizations that have a regional focus or have a topic focus, and these organizations, they represent, let's say, a broader field of cultural heritage organizations. And we want this call to be interesting to them. We will be looking at projects that are, for instance, working with some of the tools that the Collaborative Cloud is offering. Also participate in knowledge sharing activities, organizing workshops, all kinds of ways that fit the needs of that, organization, those umbrella organizations. So here are some more pointers. So the deadline for submitting proposals is early next year. And we will probably need a month or two to evaluate. It's a single-stage process, so this is different than call 1 and call 3, where actually we do 2 stages. This is single stage. We expect projects to run for 12 months, and it's 30,000 euros for each project, and it's 100% funded. If you want to know more, then you can go to the website, obviously, and also if you have very specific questions, then reach out by email, and I think that's is me. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Johan. I grab your mic because now we have to really make a sprint. And thank you for good time management. Huh? And here I hand over to the public already.
So, thank you very much. And you already have seen this last slide of the session now. I will keep it very short to not blocking you. As Time Machine organization, we are now in the great situation to also launching a smaller grant program specifically for those who are having currently untapped 3D data. That one is a call out of 4 calls in total, and that one is specifically focusing on a preparation and ingestion of 3D data sets for Europeana in Europeana, but also for reuse in 4D browser and Zenodo repositories, etc. So 2 times 10,000 euros is on the floor application till the 13th of June this year. And we are specifically searching for 3D models of built environments, of archaeological artifacts, etc. And for all more information, please have a look on the website. Contact my colleagues who are conducting this call, and we are looking forward to your applications.
Thank you very much, Sander. Yeah, so it leaves us the whooping amount of 4 minutes now for the Q&A, and I think we knew, Harry, from the start, right, that this is going to be a mission impossible, and there's no way we were going to fit 45 minutes discussion on funding and exchanges. So I wonder what we should do. Do we have a moment to at least pick up one question from the online audience?
Maybe if we have one question from the audience itself here. I'm looking around. People
Short
really
question
want
or comment.
the Prosecco that is outside. I get that. I understand.
If not, the online audience maybe. And
yes,
oh, yeah, there
we
is
have one
Okay,
question over
perfect.
there.
Now the sprint with the microphone.
Hiya, my name is Emily Peppers. I'm at the University of Warsaw, and I'll speak quickly. I come from a background not only from academic research, but also in Scotland, working with very small museums, being a jack of all trades, not having any funding, not having any people, and it's a labor of love. Within this situation of all this funding, how do you propose helping to train people in the sense of knowing that they can apply for grants, knowing about the language of grants, because it's really a skill that has to be learned. Just because you have good ideas, it doesn't mean that you can communicate it. Even setting up an idea of a project within the application and then communicating it can be very challenging, and it's not a skill set that most people have. So how do you propose helping people with that? This is everyone.
Thank you very much. I mean, that's quite a question. I wonder if we still have Rickard or Maria Claudia with us. Maybe we'll let them answer as they are online, and then we can continue discussion on that question among ourselves. Because indeed, I mean, they are gone.
Maria has left us already, I'm afraid.
They have left the building. Yeah.
Yes.
Aleksandra, Johan, do you want to react very quickly to this? I mean, it's again, it's a huge question, of course, but as a bit of, let's treat it as like a closing or closing/opening words for.
Yeah, sure. So, right, applicants often starts with very passionate ideas, and we love the passion. We need the passion. It keeps us alive, but of course, we also have to ask ourselves what is the problem and what our projects want to address. And the job of Creative Europe Desk Poland is to channel the passion so that it will fit into the principles of a grant. And we are the contact point. So what you can do is to ask us, tell us what is your idea, and we will help you go through the process of application. Of course, we will help you find maybe we will encourage you to look at this idea in a perspective of finding a challenge, maybe a problem, maybe something that you will be able to find the way to find, like, you. Sorry. What I wanted to say is that we are here for you, to help, to find you a good aims, and help you build together like the European added value. And so contact us, please.
Okay, I think that we again have to close with that, but rest assured there is actually more that we wanted to share with you. We'll find the ways, I think, to do that as well. The same goes for all the links and relevant materials you've seen here. We'll again think about it. It's just the opening, and I'm afraid we have to run now because, of course, the technical team needs a break, everyone needs a break, and all of you need a break as well. Huh? So again, thank you very much. Warm round of applause to our speakers, and see you outside of this room. And thank you again, Rickard and Maria Claudia, for being there for us online.
And let's have a warm round of applause for Maciej Hofman as well. He's been absolutely amazing.